All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to This Week in Base Hit. I'm Whispering. Don't know why. I'm joined, as almost always, by my friend, Citizen Clone. Clone, how was your week?
It was long, man. I was gonna say it was good, but
You had a rough week, man. You lost power this week. The Dodgers got swept by the Brewers. I said I wasn't going to bring it up, but it was a long week.
you waited like 5 seconds before you
I,
brought it
I
up.
did. I couldn't hold
I
back.
am wearing my Dodger hat because I figured I needed to take it on the chin and not try
Best
to
alternate logo in Major League Baseball,
very good
right
logo.
there. That is
Um,
the coolest.
we did have flooding here, and it's been kind of crazy. It's not as bad as where you are, but we were out of power and we were boiling water, and I know lots of people got stuff like this going on everywhere, and it could be a lot worse, but it was a pain.
Yep. It's crazy. It affected both of us. Like, obviously, like the death toll is going to be over 300 here in the Hill Country. It's terrible. But my water got contaminated too, and the well company had to come out and do this bleaching service, and I thankfully was uphill of it. But the fact that both of us had like some of the worst flooding in the country this year on the same week, pretty crazy.
We can go back to our general philosophy on playing this game of
It,
there's so much life going on with everybody's got not
escapism.
natural disasters, but everybody's got
Yep.
their own stories going on, and it is always nice to be able to take a minute out of that and play a game and hang out with other people. So I'm happy. I was happy until the damn contest round this morning when I got knocked out again. I haven't made it to a Friday yet.
So the contest this week dovetails into what's going on back here. For those of you that don't know who that is Tony
Free Berry Bond.
Clark. That is Tony Clark. He is the executive director of the Major League Baseball Players Association. And I'm not going to talk about this guy, but that's Lloyd Howell. He's the executive director of the NFL Players Association. Um, and the reason it dovetails into the contest is because I've been following this story about Tony Clark for months. And, I'm the greatest investigative journalist in Base Hit, but I hate when people call me that. I'm just a seeker of truth.
Okay.
Just a seeker of truth. But this week, Mystery named his team Fire Tony Clark. And all right, well, I might just have to talk about Tony Clark real quick and why I've been looking into this story because it is not even close to getting enough coverage. So I'm breaking the seal. There's almost no like YouTube videos about this, but there are stories. Um, it's about
I
to
don't know
become
anything about what you're about to talk about.
it's about to become an enormous story, especially with the looming negotiations next year that could cause a lockout potentially. And the biggest thing there is baseball is only one of the major sports that doesn't have a salary cap. The owners want a salary cap. Obviously, the Players Association don't. But that's not what the story is. The story is about Tony Clark specifically. There is um, uh, a controversy going on right now where Tony Clark is getting investigated by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And it's all over well, actually, let me back up. Let me back up because a few years ago, he's been the executive director, I think, since 2019 or something. And um, he got of Major League Baseball Players Association, and he gave himself a raise from 2.25 million to 4.25 million. Huge raise, right? But I'm gonna now set that aside. Just like, and it didn't get announced or anything. It a whistleblower came forward to talk about the raise, but um, there is this uh, the Tony Clark pushed. I feel like I'm going to be a little all over the map here because I want to get this done quick so we don't run long. But essentially, he made this big push that he wanted to unionize minor league baseball as well and pull them into the Players Association.
Okay.
And and as part of that, the NFLPA and the MLBPA teamed up to create this venture company, this for-profit company called One Team Partners. And One Team Partners was, I mean, just coincidentally, was going to manage name and likeness agreements, IP, all of these things for all of their players, including all their developmental players. So as part of that, it would be convenient if minor league baseball was unionized so that they didn't have to negotiate with all the players. They just had to negotiate with themselves, right? And so
Okay.
now there's nothing technically wrong with that. But a for-profit business being run by the union that's making money off the backs of the name and likeness agreement of non or of collective bargaining players, it's a little funny. But then what the FBI is actually investigating is Tony Clark specifically because there are allegations, and I'm going to throw out the alleged so we don't get sued. Um, uh, that he started self-dealing, uh, uh, giving additional capital equity or additional equity in One Team Partners to the negotiating team for the minor league baseball unionization contract,
Mm,
and including himself. And then he hired, I mean, this story is as old as time. He started hiring family members, including his daughter, who also got equity in One Team Partners
mm,
and got big salaries. And then the entire team started taking non-business related travel together to Australia, Las Vegas. There's all these vacations, part of it. So I actually think Tony Clark is in a shitload of trouble, and he likely is not a very good person, um, and has been probably doing some bad things. Most of you remember Tony Clark as a first baseman for the Tigers. Some people might get him confused with Tony Phillips, who also played for the Tigers but was a second baseman. But he was a power hitting first baseman for the Tigers. I think he played like 95 to 2001. Um,
I did not. I was thinking he was Cardinals, but
No, well, he played for multiple teams. He might have played for the Cardinals at some point. But yeah, so that's Tony Clark. And now he is not very popular with the Players Association, based on polls that I've seen. And ironically enough, one of the biggest fears that players have is that he's so entrenched in a lot of this stuff that um, that he's not a good representative for the players in these negotiations, and the players think that they're definitely going to get locked out, which obviously is good for no one, including us as fans. And so there's a lot of worry about him just in general, partially because he might be negotiating on his own behalf, allegedly. Um, but this one team partners thing is a problem. Now, that it doesn't appear right now that anybody, and Lloyd Howell shouldn't even actually technically be on this picture because he has only been the head of the NFLPA for 2 years. It was actually a guy named DeMaurice Smith that was there before him.
yeah.
But I don't think they're under investigation right now. I think it is specific to Tony Clark. So you're going to hear a lot more about this story. I encourage you to look it up. Front Office Baseball probably put out the best story about it. The Wall Street Journal, if you subscribe to it and you pay for it, they have the most in-depth story about it. But you're not seeing a lot else about this right now, and it's gonna become the biggest story of the year coming up in the back half of the baseball season. There you go.
Impact people. Yeah, you pay attention to the business side more than I do. How's it gonna? Is it gonna get replaced? What's it gonna impact? Or you think it's gonna impact if there's a lockout or
I,
not?
I do. I think this could be really bad for the players overall because, um, if he is under enough heat that he has to step down, there's a likelihood he's going to get replaced either with a more owner friendly players representative to get the deal done to put this
No.
whole thing to bed, or he's going to get replaced with a lawyer, which I think is probably the more likely. And if you remember, the lawyer Donald Fear back in '94 created a strike,
Yeah.
as opposed to a lockout, and that led to them having to look the other way to juice Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa to save baseball. So we'll see what baseball does in return because they're not the best actors either when it comes to all of this stuff. So we'll see.
Uh,
I mean, I think baseball. So, sorry, I don't want to go too far down this. We'll talk about it some other time. But we should at some time talk about a salary cap in baseball because, like, I think, especially as a fan of the smallest market team in baseball, like you'd think I would just blanketly be for a salary cap, but it's so much more complicated in baseball because you have 5 layers of minor leagues that are required just to get good enough to be there that don't exist in any of the other sports. And I think um, it complicates the matter considerably because baseball teams have to put in so much more time into their players just to get them, professional, the highest level of professional baseball worthy.
I wish I had something to add to this. Although
It's super complicated.
all the sports have some issues with their financial system. I know like NBA is in free agency right now, and like the lack of freedom for teams because they've got such a strong salary cap situation now of like they when you go down the list and like all the people they're going to sign and every single one of them was like only team that's got any money is the Brooklyn Nets, only team that's got any money is like literally like people couldn't move. So then you have the other extreme, and I do understand
Yeah, it's
why people
super.
might be interested in the salary cap, but it's I don't
It, yeah, I mean, I do think that I think everybody would agree there has to be some change. There has to be some change because it's so insanely complicated now. Even if you look at like how the 40-man roster works and how you can send people down to the minor leagues. You can do it 3 years of their first 6 years. If you do it once, you can do it all year. You can send them back and forth. Like there's all these crazy rules to the collective bargaining agreement that make it so utterly complicated to run a baseball team that are going to get negotiated as part of whatever the new financial arrangement is. I think there has to be some rules around deferred money. Um, because like I think it can be exploited in a way that I think long term probably isn't healthy for the teams because it's real easy to kick cans down the road and then have to suffer for it later. And not everybody's going to be able to keep up with the Dodgers, but a lot of people are going to try and fail. And you see it
also
already
nice in
happening with
baseball, though.
what?
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but like coming up on the end of the season here, and baseball still has the if you're contending, you're trying to buy. If you're not contending, you're trying to sell. And there is like a lot more freedom than in a lot of the other leagues where you just can't make the move, or you've only got a couple of people you can make the move, and you got to meet the minimum. Like I like the fact that in baseball you still got the like if you give enough prospects, if you spend enough money, like I don't know
Yeah,
that
no,
that
I mean you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater because that is some of the trade deadline is the most exciting time in baseball.
and there's a
So
market. There's a more normal market than a lot of the other leagues, but I mean it is also crazy that I mean baseball's had the strongest union forever, and it's crazy that NFL, who how everybody plays for 1 second and they're taking all the hits and their money's not guaranteed. Everybody except for Kirk Cousins doesn't have their guaranteed money, but you know what I mean.
and
In
and
baseball, you've got it locked in.
Deshaun Watson.
And sometimes, and you talk about the Dodgers, but with all of these sports and the finances, is there ever a franchise that's sold for less than it? I mean,
I
like
don't think so.
the Lakers are going to be 10 billion. And remember when the Clippers were 2 billion and it was insane. Like,
Yep,
no matter how hard and how much money you got to spend, somehow the franchise value
it's
never,
amazing. It's one of the
yeah.
biggest uh, financial guarantees out there. It's not always easy in the interim though, because you have a bunch of cash calls that happen. So it can suck you dry in the meantime, but it always does go up. You're right. It always
Um,
does go up.
more,
Anyways,
more baseball related and not. I did see, and this is not. I don't know who decided this, but I saw they're doing ABS in the All-Star game. They're using the
oh,
automated balls and strikes. I don't know why they're doing that.
because
Are they just trying to get everybody ready?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I actually didn't know they were using it. So you're breaking some news to me.
They're
I didn't
using it
realize.
in the All-Star game. I don't know if they're. I need to find out more too. If they're just straight up using it only, or
So
if they're
wait, so
doing like a
like this,
challenge system.
I mean,
But the
this was an
challenge
all-star
system,
game for the umpires too. So did they lose a spot?
that's what I got to find out. Or I don't
Yeah.
know if they're doing the challenge like they did in in the exhibition where you can challenge calls because I feel like most teams decided not to use it because they didn't want players to get used to the idea because it wasn't going to happen during the season. Um,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I well, yeah, now we're
all right,
getting
we're
into
both talking. We're both talking about topics that neither of us have opinions on.
no, no, no. I have a big opinion on that. I
Okay.
think I think it's I think umpires should still be at first, second, and third, but I think balls and strikes should be called automatically. And that's not a popular opinion among players. A lot of players, even though they're the ones kicking dirt on umpires and complaining all the time, don't want to take the human element out of it for whatever reason. But I hate it. I hate it so much. I
What if
hate
they
them
put
being
a?
wrong.
I mean, they want somebody
Just be
to
right.
be able to argue with. They
Yeah,
want
let's
to have something to argue with. I mean, they are. Okay, wait. Just be right.
just be
What are you
right.
talking about? Oh, what if they put an
Just be
actual
accurate.
robot back there so you could have something that looks like something that you could yell at. Anyway,
Yeah, they just put like Grok AI out there and you can
there
just
you
go
go.
yell at him and he
Um,
takes it.
I do think that the umps are like stupidly right. I mean, like
It's true.
the amount of their accuracy is
It's
pretty
pretty
impressive.
impressive considering when you see it from the ump cam and you're like, dude, you got to be right on like, 200 pitches.
Yeah,
Yeah, or no, it's even more than that. It's probably 300 pitches a game and it's like, and they're right like 95% of the time plus. It
yeah.
is
I can
it's pretty
remember.
impressive.
I had
But
site up that has all the data on everybody's grade for every game, and I was watching it earlier in the season. Then I stopped because yeah, they're all so good.
yep.
I wanted to blame guys, but whatever. All right, let's talk about it just for a second. The Dodgers got destroyed by the Brewers. No matter, even if you're trying to take the high road, it's a bad time for the Dodgers. Congratulations on
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the Brewers pitching is really, I mean, the pitch. Oh, I don't know if you saw this. So the second game of the series, the Brewers pitched Mizorowski, and then Jared Koenig, Abner Uribe, and then Trevor McGill. And apparently, um, it had the highest average fastball velocity ever recorded since PitchCast started. It was
season
like
again.
99.5. And because all of them were throwing 100 and Mizorowski was throwing, 101, 102 at times. And so it was the fastest pitch. So that's not even the Dodgers' fault at that point. Like Clayton Kershaw was being interviewed and he's like, at some point, like you just can't catch up to the ball. So that was
Congratulations.
pretty cool.
Congratulations. Dodgers are on a 6 game losing streak,
They play tonight.
which
Who do,
is
who do they
going
play?
against they play against the Giants. It's time to stop that fucking
Oh,
streak. But
these are big games because
just a
Giants are in second.
reminder of baseball. It's a reminder of it's a long season and theoretically if they work themselves out of it, you still in there have a streak where it feels like nothing could go right and maybe it's never going to go right and
I saw another crazy stat. The Brewers' payroll is 111.7 million, which is the exact amount that the Dodgers have on their injured reserve right now. Their payroll on injured reserve is 111.7 million. So it does show that like salary cap or not, like that's not all that matters.
yeah. So congratulations on the Brewers. Congratulations on being one of the finest contest
Why are you
competitors that we
quit
have
quit glazing
going.
me? I don't know what's happening right now.
You're killing it. You're killing it, man. I was gonna make an announcement, but I'm not going to yet. But we got contest season, hopefully starting on the 21st, and I will have an announcement earlier in the
Probably
week
a
next week.
week from when people see this, the seasons will start.
Yep.
Maybe.
Which
No promises.
it's gonna be a big thing. But
But do you want to explain
if
what a
I had to
season will
name, it
be?
just means we're gonna have a 10 10 contest season. And then you're going to qualify for semifinals and finals. We're going to have monetary prize, your overall standings, so that if you're consistently good at these, you're going to qualify. Or if you win a contest, you can qualify
I
either
like it.
way. So we want to get people playing. We want to get new people playing. We want to get old people playing. We want people to, I
And the
mean,
contest will stop living in a bubble and we'll have broader seasons. But you can just play one contest, have fun. But if you play for the season, there's more to it. It'll be cool.
and and this has all been a lab. We're getting a lot of data and part of the and my plan personally is we all learn the game from some of the contest stuff because it is a lab and it's going to impact some game changes coming through at some point too because we're getting to see some data in a way we haven't before. But anyway, I'm just going to say who I don't even want to snub, but you. Well, the finals list this week. I'm just going to say that if you check the finals list this week, it's a who's who of the people that have been killing it in the contest
Uh,
for eight weeks. And there's a few
that's
people,
true.
a few new names, but some people have figured this out, and I am not one of them, and I would like to be one of them.
That is true. Like anybody out there that has uh, not or stopped playing the contest because they feel like there's too much luck involved, you're starting to see a pattern, and there are people that are more consistently doing well,
There's
and
a
it's
tier,
because
there's a
they're
tier of
learn.
guys that have broken away from it's the peloton that's broken away from the group.
Yeah, but I was going to say, but like, there's no secrets. Like, you can see what these people are doing, and like, you can don't abandon the contest because you feel like you're not doing well or whatnot. What you should try to do is play more contests and learn because you'll learn a lot. And now I would warn people about one thing: not everything that works every time in the regular game will work in the contest. Not everything that works in the contest will work in the game, but overall, you will understand the game functionally better and you'll be able to test more things. I actually test a lot of things. I've learned more about the relationship of attributes from the contest than I have in 20 years of playing the game. Play the contest, you'll learn a ton. And then look at what other people are doing. And if you can be a good player, you could be a good emulator. I'm a good at emulator because I still don't know exactly why what I'm doing is doing working, but
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet, but I've been getting great feedback from people all the time. I've got lots of suggestions from people over time, and there's a lot that we're going to do, but it's been great. And I just wanted to congratulate you, man. I know you didn't want to hear it, but I'm putting it public.
thanks.
I'm jealous. I'm
Thanks,
jealous.
man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. The one thing I am proud of in this contest is I was second to last after the first run of games, and then I was in the middle, and then I finished the last round with 11 straight wins and got in on a tie break. So I mean, like skin of the teeth
The
for
amount of
sure.
coding that I had to do to
Yeah.
try to make it look like it wasn't rigged. Anyway, all
Yeah.
right.
So why are you congratulating me? You should be
I don't
congratulating
know. I
you.
just couldn't just leave it there at the end.
All right. All right. There we go. There it is. If you do one thing this week, read about this story. So when it comes up with your friends, you can say, I was ahead of it. I knew about Tony Clark and the FBI before it was popular. All right. That's it. That's what's going on this week. What's going to happen next week? Who knows? Nobody knows. But if you come back here, you will know. That's this week in Base Hit. Until next week, we are out of here.